Corns welcome to Footy Park. Cornsy, you spoke this morning, you wrote this morning about when does the slump become a collapse, and from the Crows' point of view, tonight's the night. They have to win to have any chance at all.
Some games, Bruce, you just have to win. It doesn't matter who you're playing, it doesn't matter where you're playing, you just have to win or your season is dead, and it's that sort of scenario for the Crows tonight.
The West Coast, they broke their duck, so to speak. They've lost 8 in a row. They won last week against Melbourne. And you look at the ladder, the surprising thing, Adelaide look a long way down, but if they won tonight, they'd actually have a chance of going above the Western Bulldogs because their percentage drop last night was significant.
Adelaide's percentage has always been a problem, Luke, whereas you think they're going to have to win one more game and the other teams around the 6th, 7th or 8th position to actually make it, unless they have a big win. But look, there's no excuse. You just have to win this game regardless of who they're playing.
There's an opportunity for them too. We talked about this last week, but the next 4 matches, including tonight, I guess you say 5, they're all winnable chances for the Crows.
And they've been talking about it around the club too. They made the point that these 4 games are winnable. The only problem is that they just have to address the next game in hand. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. But if they did win those 4, with 10 wins and a few games still to go, so it puts them right back in the hunt.
Good news for the Crows. McLeod is playing. There was a doubt. He apparently had a bit of a virus. There's their captain, Rashida. One change, Skipworth out and Robin's in.
Yeah, and that won't hurt them at all. Robin gives them a little more balance. They are lacking height in their forward line. They still haven't got that structure correct, and Robin gives them that opportunity. We think he's starting on the bench, and I'm sure you'll see him in the forward lines at some stage.
West Coast form away from Perth has been ordinary. In fact, their last 4 have been dreadful. They've been thrashed in those matches. They've all been in Melbourne against strong opposition.
It's a different proposition here at Football Park. They've been here before. They've played pretty well. They've won. They'll feel a bit more confident, and there's no doubt their form last week gave them a real lift. So there might be some confidence back into them because despite their injury list, it has a lot to do with confidence as well.
They have a champion, don't they, Ben Cousins, number 9 there. So do the Crows and Andrew McLeod. It'll be great to see if they run together at some stage tonight.
I don't think so. I mean, Gary Ayres will not let Ben Cousins run unchecked. His form has been so good, despite the fact his team has been struggling. He's been a dominant player. Andy McLeod, under an injury cloud, under an illness cloud coming into this game, he's got other players around him, I guess, which probably helps him. Even not as dominant as Cousins has been, but the team performance is more even.
Yes, you think Stengron's a man for Cousins. Blocking has been a problem for both teams. Adelaide are ranked 13th in offence. The West Coast Eagles are 16th. From last year, they just can't find the goals. They can't find the goal scorers they had last year.
Well, Scott Welsh hasn't played the last couple of games. Darren Jarman has been used in defence. Peter Vardy's been a bit inconsistent. I still think their structure is not right. They don't have enough balance at all in small running players or coming players before them, and they don't bring it in down the corridor. It still comes in too wide. The West Coast Eagles, Scotty Cummings has been restricted by injury. Philip Materis still impresses me. I mean, his form last week was excellent. So both those players are particularly dangerous. But the key is getting the ball in the forward line with some system.
Graham, one other match tonight of a gaggle where Brisbane will be heavy favourites to win their 5th consecutive match. They play St Kilda. They could really make a challenge for the top 4 by winning tonight. We'll have scores and highlights of that game throughout our telecast. Not a bad crowd. It's a night that I think we'll get a bit of rain. King Kerley's on the boundary line. The legend Kevin Bartlett's with us. The opening bounce coming up shortly.